Right, hello guys, Rich and Go 2, and today we're going to do the Sarah Jane Adventures. So we're going to talk about Sarah Jane Adventures Series 2. We just did Sarah Jane Adventures Series 1 last Saturday, so check out that video if you haven't already. But yeah, let's get on to Series 2. I've got my list here, ready to keep me on track, so let's get on it. The Last Sontaran. So, this is the last kind of episode with Maria and Maria's dad and Maria's mom. And we do see Maria's mom, dad and Maria again at some point. Anyway, let's get into it. So, The Last Sontaran is basically a spin-off sort of version to the Sontaran's Poison Sky with the Doctor Who episode Series 4, where the 10th Doctor defeated the Sontarans with Martha and Donna and Unit. So it was a nice add-on towards that. So that was good. Yeah, so we got a little nod to that, and Sontaran wanting revenge to just destroy Earth, so he can go back to Sontar and be rewarded for destroying Earth for the Sontaran's last loss of victory, you could say. Yeah. Then we also have the Sontaran pod escaping. We see the footage for that, and I really like that. It ties in quite well. I like that idea. And then the Sontaran wanting revenge, Karg, is a really good Sontaran. I would say he's my favourite and the best Sontaran we've ever had on Doctor Who. People may go, what about Strax? I still say, yet again, Karg is a better Sontaran, and a brilliant one, and a revenge one at that. And as an actual Sontaran, he doesn't do that well. He's defeated quite a lot, but he wants to be Karg the Destroyer, Karg the Great or whatever, when people are screaming out for their battle cry. And that's what he wants to be worshipped as, so he just tries to destroy Earth with satellites, all these satellites across the Earth, and if they mess up, all these satellites crash down into nuclear reactors, making the reactors blow up Earth and destroy it in the worst way possible. And that is basically what Karg's plan is. And Sarah Jane is seeing these lights in the sky, well, getting notified by Mr. Smith that there's lights in the sky, and these are like some basically VR, not VR, I don't know how to describe them, I don't own one, but you know them things in the sky that we're not allowed to fly near helicopter ways or something like that, you know, these lights in the sky. Basically, let's forget what I'm trying to say, and let's just say these lights in the sky are making objects, and they're chasing people around and stuff like that. And sleeper drones. We have a sleeper drone of the dad, the scientist, and we have a sleeper drone hidden in the daughter and not activated towards the end of the episode. And Clyde has a little thing for her. And she's also in a vampire episode of a different show as well, which is, she's a good actress. Yeah, so we have Sarah Jane trying to do her best, but then get your cliffhanger. Getting shot, that's a nice little thing, I like that idea. And of course Maria is leaving the show and then leaving the Sarah Jane Adventures, going to New York because her dad got an offer. And we see Maria's mom know all about the alien stuff, finally. And she destroys a Sontaran at the end. And yeah, it's a good one. It's an interesting one. It's understanding how the gang can react to Maria leaving as well. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Day of a Clown. Bradley Walsh is in this as a clown, and Sarah Jane's afraid of clowns. And we yet again get a little hints of Sarah Jane's past. And the clowns, also the Pied Piper, who's been stealing children, and we also have someone, other one, Odd Bob the Clown, and stealing children to join fair and stuff like that. Yet again, quite a scary thing, and very, I've never noticed it until now, very like It, with the red balloons, and him saying float and stuff like that. They're gonna float, and the kids shall float, and all that sort of jazz. Very It, you know, orientated, and Bradley Walsh performs it quite well. And yeah, and it's also a beginning of Rani and Rani's family, which I think are the best family out of Maria's family or Rani's family. I think Rani's one are better, and I really enjoy them. Yeah, and Geeta, of course, and Rani's dad as a teacher, and giving slack, and they're like Clyde's worst enemy sort of thing, going about the place. 8 out of 10 again and defeated by happiness. Yes, now we have The Secrets of the Stars, a very similar one to the clown in my eyes. This guy not basically accepting he's been a fraud all of his life and pretending to be a thing he's not, and then the lights hit him and he suddenly tries to brainwash people to join the circle and put on a show to basically, it's your star number, you know, like proceeds, precedes, I don't know the star signs, but you know what they are. You know, they're your sort of thing, and he's controlling them, and they were before the Big Bang itself, which is an interesting one as well. So from another universe, and it survived the Big Bang and tried to get it here, but sadly is defeated by Sarah Jane breaking the link, and yeah, it's an interesting one to go down. It's not the best story, to be fair, and he has the power of zap, and just, you will obey me, Sarah Jane, and I know all about the Doctor and predecessors and stuff like that, and yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. Next up we have, I can't even read my writing for this title. I have no idea. Oh, Mark of the Berserker. Really couldn't read my writing then. So, I really enjoy this one. This is my favourite episode so far from Sarah Jane Adventures. Basically, Clyde's dad appears and he's trying to win Clyde back. But doing so, Clyde wants to impress his dad, so he tells him all about the attic and shows him the attic. And Rani finds this boy who has this little device, little necklace, and she wears it, learns she can control her dad, but then says something very that scares her, so she reverses it all and puts it back in the attic. And then the dad steals something from the attic, and it turns out to be that berserker necklace and being able to control people. And he controlled Luke all the way to pushing point, but also using the necklace too much can destroy you itself and turn you into a berserker. And yet again, we get to see Miria and Miria's dad come back, and that's a nice little thing to show that they're still in the Sarah Jane Adventures universe and the Doctor universe, and it's a lovely little tie-in with Unit as well. And yeah, really enjoyed this story, and it gets a 9 out of 10 from me, and we finally get to see Clyde's mom and the beginning of Clyde's artwork a lot more. I think we got a nod to that in the first episode of Clyde, but we get to see it even more now. Right, now we have two episodes left of series 2, so let's get on it. Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith. Now this is an interesting one because we get to see basically Sarah Jane Smith's origin. So we learn that Sarah Jane Smith's mom and dad are actually died in a car crash, which is quite tragic for her 3-month-old baby, and Sarah Jane Smith is, and yeah, it's a tragic one, and the trickster's using that to advantage. Sarah Jane must change time so the trickster can rule reality. And yet again, we get the Grask. I absolutely love the Grask. They're brilliant villains, just like the Ood. I absolutely adore them. And the trickster's a brilliant villain for Sarah Jane, the iconic villain, I would say, for Sarah Jane Adventures. Yeah, I really enjoy the trickster and the battle Sarah Jane has to have with him. The universe is completely destroyed, London is destroyed, and we see Rani's mom and see how she's acted completely different and doesn't even know her daughter, and Rani doesn't exist anymore in a way. Clyde and the Grass get along quite well. That's a fun dynamic, and Luke's pretty interesting in this as well. But Sarah Jane it's mainly focused on, and there's 2 Sarah Janes, and it's lovely to see her seeing her mom and dad. You get to see their origin and how much hope she has of, why can't I just change it? Why can't I just have a reward? Just like the 10th Doctor at the end of time. You're always this, weren't you, Wilfred? You're always this, waiting for me all this time, and then you all the time to collect my reward and stuff like that. It's reminding me of the 10th Doctor Sarah Jane did with this, with her changing time. She knows it's bad to do it. She does it anyway. The trickster uses that to advantage. But then again, the mom and dad save the day. They work it out and they solve it, and they go off, ready for the car crash and leaving Sarah Jane on the road, ready to be picked up by her aunt and looked after. At least Sarah Jane gets answers of how the mom and dad actually did love her. They didn't just leave her. 9 out of 10 for this story. Really good. And the cliffhanger of the is pretty cool in this as well. And the final story we're talking about today is Enemy of the Bane. Brigadiers back. I bloody love this. This is my first time ever seeing Brigadier in Doctor Who universe in the Sarah Jane Adventures, and it's brilliant to have him back. The Bane are back, giving messages to Luke as he's falling asleep, and then we get to see the Bane are still after Wormwood because Sarah Jane destroyed the place, and the mom got destroyed, and Wormwood gets the response of that, and they want to eat her because she lost. And in the Bane's eyes, that Miss Wormwood killed the mom. So they're after that, and then Sontaran join forces with the Bane was such an interesting dynamic, and that he couldn't go back to Sontar empty-handed. He had to complete his mission, so he tried it yet again with the Bane, and then he found Mrs. Wormwood ready to execute her and send her off for a pile of money, but then the Bane tricked the Sontaran into working for her. And the Sontarans get, a lot in the classic era, get backstabbed. No wonder they don't trust people, and the Bane definitely backstabbed Karg yet again. The same Sontaran. I love Karg, he's my favourite Sontaran in my eyes. And we get to see the Brigadier see a Sontaran again, it's brilliant. And then we also get, you bug-eyed monsters, you never get it, do you? I love the Brigadier in this, and him doing the car chase against the unit. Unit get infiltrated by aliens, and the Black Archive we get to see for the first time, even better in Day of the Doctor in a different room and different scenario. But yeah, it's lovely. And yeah, Rani gets to go with Sarah Jane. Rani's mom gets captured yet again. And Clyde has to look after Luke and make sure Luke's doing what he says, but gets attacked by Bane, so Miss Wormwood has to get out the vault, sort of thing, get out this lockdown prison thing she's in. It's a really good action-packed story. It just keeps going and going and going, and it's going to be my first Sarah Jane Adventures where I give it a 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's my first ever Sarah Jane Adventures. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I honestly adore this. I don't know why I think it might be fan, look at this, it's Brigadier, look at this, it's Unit, look at this, it's Black Archive, look at this, it's a Sontaran. Oh, you forget this Sarah Jane Adventures villain, the Bane. Ooh, I think it might be that, but I just love it. The tone, it's still going and still doing, and bringing in the what is it called, Stonehenge, which we later learn is the Pandorica. So a little bit more of woohoo, look at this. I love Stonehenge reference, and in them creating this massive thing. It's really good, it's brilliant, and yeah, it's a brilliant one to end the finale on, and that is that. Series 2 of Sarah Jane Adventures was another great success, and out of 10 I would give it, this series, a 9 out of 10. I would give series 1 an 8 out of 10. Join me next Saturday at 12 o'clock for my review of series 3. Hope you enjoy, guys, and I'll see you guys for another video very soon. Have a nice day.